I confronted my jealous stepmom during my daughter's big moment. Here's what happened. You know, family is supposed to be there for you, to lift you up and celebrate the big moments together. But sometimes, jealousy can make even the closest relationships feel toxic. Today, I want to share one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, confronting my own stepmom, right in the middle of my daughter's dance show. Asterisk. Hey everyone, I'm Adam. This is probably one of the most personal stories I'll ever tell. If you've ever dealt with jealousy or toxic family dynamics, then you know how complicated it can be. For years, I've dealt with my stepmom's jealousy, mostly aimed at me, but recently it started affecting my daughter. And that was something I just couldn't let slide anymore. Asterisk, let me give you some context. My daughter loves to dance. She'd been practicing for months for this one performance, rehearsing every night, excited to show everyone what she's learned. As a parent, it's one of those proud moments, right? You want everything to go perfectly, for her to feel loved and celebrated. But, of course, my stepmom saw this as another chance to make it all about herself. I think it's important to explain how we got here, though. My stepmom, let's just call her Linda, has always had this jealousy streak. Over the years, she's found subtle ways to belittle me, make me feel small, or shift the focus back to her anytime something positive happened in my life. I could handle that. She'd make comments at family dinners, find ways to insert herself into conversations in a way that would either make her seem more important or make me seem less important. For a while, I just let it roll off my back. But as time went on, I started seeing how her behavior was impacting my daughter. She'd say things in front of her, little digs at me that I could brush off, but that my daughter couldn't quite understand. It's hard to watch that as a parent, and it was a growing tension that I knew I'd have to address eventually. Now, here's where things started to build up to the confrontation. My daughter's dance show had been on the calendar for months. We'd invited the whole family. This was her day to shine, and I thought maybe, just maybe, Linda would see how important it was to her and hold back on her usual comments. But that's not what happened. On the day of the show, we're all seated in the audience, waiting for my daughter's group to come on. I can feel Linda's eyes on me, and she starts with these subtle comments under her breath, things like, well, I don't see what the big deal is, or kids these days have it so easy. It was that same passive-aggressive tone that I'd gotten used to over the years, but I was determined to ignore it. After all, this was my daughter's day. Asterisk, then, just as my daughter's group starts their performance, Linda starts whispering to the person next to her, a family friend, saying things like, it's just a little dance. Why is everyone acting like it's Broadway? I could feel my blood boiling. I wanted so badly to tell her to stop, to let my daughter have her moment, but I kept quiet, trying to focus on my daughter, who was up there smiling, so proud of herself. And that's when Linda crossed the line. She started speaking louder, throwing jabs about how my daughter was showing off, and that she was too young to be put on a pedestal like this. That was it. I looked over, and I realized this had gone on long enough. I had two choices: keep silent and let her steal this moment, or stand up for my daughter. I turned to her, and in a calm but firm voice, I said, Linda, this is my daughter's moment, and I won't let you take it from her. She deserves to feel special, and if you can't support that, then maybe you shouldn't be here. Her face went pale, and for the first time, she didn't have a snarky comeback. She just sat there, stunned. Asterisk, in that moment, I felt both relief and a bit of guilt. This was a public place, and I didn't want to cause a scene, but I also couldn't let my daughter see someone try to undermine her accomplishment, especially someone who's supposed to be family. I could see the hurt on Linda's face, and maybe a bit of shame too. But in that moment, my priority was making sure my daughter knew she was loved and supported. After the show, Linda kept her distance. I think the reality of how far her jealousy had gone finally hit her. And yes, our relationship will probably never be the same. But that's okay. Because sometimes standing up to family isn't just about yourself. It's about setting boundaries to protect the people you love, even if it means risking that relationship. Have any of you ever dealt with jealousy or negativity in family relationships? I'd love to hear your stories and how you handled them. And if you enjoy these personal stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I've got more to share. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometime